inkproducts.com has now released its newest ultimate refill kit for HP printers that use the 902 cartridges. In the kit, you're going to get our refillable cartridges. We're going to include the Super XL cartridge. All the colors are going to be XL cartridges. Now you're going to get our snap and fill stations, all the syringes you're going to need, and all the ink, all the OEM quality pigment ink. This is waterproof ink, archival ink. Now, anytime I do a video to show refilling, I always build one of these little stations. You can see, you put all your ink in there, can't spill, see? That's what happens. If you just had the bottle on the table, you'd knock it over. Well, now I'm going to go through filling the cartridges. Now these cartridges can be filled many, many times. And they've got this newest COC Smart Chip. So after it shows empty or it doesn't reset anymore, so what? You just keep filling them. Now I pulled one of these old printers out. We have a lot of printers here in our test lab. So now I'm going to take off because we also make a Black Tower continuous ink system. Now, a lot of people like, because they don't have to take the cartridge out to fill. But in the refill kit, that's for people who don't print really a lot, a couple times a week maybe, and they want to be able to print super quality and save a lot of money. Our ink is 100% American made. It's guaranteed not to clog a printhead. So now I'm going to take the system out and then I'll put the refillable cartridges in. Okay, now when you get the refillable cartridges, they come with this refill clip. That's good for storage or whatever. You can take that off. And then what basically you're going to do is just put it in the snap and fill and lock it down. Just like you would do if you were putting it in the printer, just like that. Now this is where you're going to be connecting the syringe, and you're going to fill it from the bottom up. You can put as much ink in there as you can fill. Okay, just keep filling up, and then the ink is going to come right out this little air breather right up here. It's just a little bit of air goes in there, but then some ink is going to come up in there. Now, I always put my ink in a cup. I draw it up, and then I'll connect it to the snap and fill. There you go. Now, if you don't want to get ink on your fingers or your hands, get yourself a pair of rubber gloves. Okay, I just wipe it off, and I go over here and I put it on, and then I just slowly add it. Take your time. The slower you go, the more ink you're going to be able to put in there. I give it a second for it to absorb, because there's sponges in there, just like the HP cartridges. I just go slow. Okay. There it is. It's already filled. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to fill one of the cartridges, how simple it is. And you can fill it anytime you want. You have a little orange storage clip. You're going to take that off. And then the cartridge just goes in like you were putting it in a printer. Snap it in. That's simple. Now, when I make up that station, I always have a little thing I put my ink into. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up, about 7 or 8 milliliters of ink. And then have a paper towel handy, because you want to be able to wipe it off just like that. Okay? Then we can install it into the little holder like that. Now we're going to slowly inject the ink. Take your time. The more ink you can get into the cartridges, the better it is. You can fill it at any time. What's going to happen is the chip is going to go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Then eventually you're going to get a question mark. Just ignore that. So at that point there, you're just going to constantly fill the cartridge anytime you want. And you just take your time. Because what happens in these cartridges, and just like the HP original cartridges, there's these little sponges in the forward section right here. Section right here. Then there's a area in the back that some of the ink will go into. As soon as you see the ink dribble out that top vent hole, then you can stop. Now you don't have to wash the syringes out. This is American-made ink, and it will not and cannot clog a print head. Now if I empty all the ink into it, I'll put some more in. Just keep adding it. But usually about, I want to say about 7 milliliters is usually enough. Now these are XLs. If these were standard cartridges, which by the way you can refill your existing HP cartridges regardless. As long as they're not the cartridges that are that come from HP that are under that cartridge plan that they have. They lock those cartridges out so you can't refill them. Just so you know that. Okay, I just put that all in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off. I'm going to get some more ink and keep adding. There you go. There you go. See? Just I was right. About 7 or 8 milliliters. So there you go. It's full. I just blot that off. And now I can take this off. Now, before you take it off, you want to draw back just a little bit, just in case there's any excess ink, because you don't want any ink come out of there. Put the ink back in that, and you can pour it back in the bottle. That's how simple it was to fill the cartridge. Now, you can rinse these out if you want, or what I usually do is just wipe them out, and I don't even, just like the syringes. I'll point this out. It says discard after use. Those are veterinarian syringes. You don't want to throw them away. And you don't want to wash them out because you'll damage that little rubber seal in there. So you don't have to. You can mark magenta, cyan, whatever you want. Now I'm going to take it out. There's always a little at the very end there. So you want to have a paper towel handy so in case you have to blot it. Like that. That's good. Now I can store it back in the clip till I'm ready to put it in. Just like that. That's how simple it was. Now you see a little bit of that ink keeps coming up. Put the syringe back on and draw back. Takes any of the extra ink that's in there out. That's the way you're going to do them all. And then in the next part of the video, I'll show you when we put them in. Okay, now I've done the yellow, the magenta, as the cyan. Again, I'm going to go in and do that. When we go to do the black, you're going to see there's going to be a difference because that is the supersized black cartridge. Larger than the standard XL black. Like I said, just take my time. Now you should be able to fill these cartridges many times. Just just take your time. And like I said, fill them anytime you want. You don't have to wait for the ink gauge to show you anything. Just take them out and fill them. There you go. And like I said, these are XLs, so this holds at least 6 milliliters, which I'll probably put some more ink in the syringe again. Another 4 or 5 milliliters. But this beats injecting it in through the top of the cartridge because it's filling it up from the bottom, just like a bathtub. So you're getting a good fill. It's coming up, it's flowing into the back chamber, filling up the sponge chamber. And if you weigh it, you'll see it weighs quite a bit more than a standard OEM cartridge. Now this time I was taking a little bit more time. I'm getting a little bit more in there. Oh, there you go. Okay, I back off just a little bit. I drew down on it just a little bit. Now I can blot the top. Okay. Now, here's the storage clip. I've got the paper towel. Now, I drew back just a little bit, not a lot, just a very little bit. I'll take it out. There it is. Blot it down. Put it in a storage clip, like that. And there's the 3 colors all done. Then again, blot that up, pull back, and whatever excess ink is in there, you'll be able to return to the cup. These are little Dixie cups. Then I'll pour it back in the bottle. Or I could squirt it back in the bottle, but I prefer pouring it back. There again, don't wash it out. Okay, now the next one is going to be the black. Okay, now this is the standard black, XL black. You can see I cut it open so I could show it to you. Now that is the Super XL. So now this station here will handle any of the blacks. Standard black, XL black, or a supersized black. So you can fill up any one you want. So if you have HP cartridge, you can fill up. There again, put it in, it locks in. Okay, now you're going to get a larger syringe. Put it on. Now I've got 20 milliliters of ink, which is a lot of black. I slowly add it. Now here, because it's so big, I take a little extra time filling it. I do a couple of milliliters every few seconds. And there again, the ink, when it's full, it's going to come out there. And you can put as much as you can get in it. Sometimes you'll get 20. Sometimes you'll get 30. So it all depends on how much ink is in the cartridge when you're, taking it out to fill it. Like if it's half full, it's not going to take a lot. But if this happens to be a completely empty cartridge. Now that was 20 milliliters. That is a lot of ink. You could do a couple of thousand black pages with that amount of ink. Okay, there's 20. Take it out. Now I'm going to go over and drop some more black ink. There we go. And then you want to wipe it off. Now I put another 5 milliliters of ink in. That'll give me 25. I'm doing this for the video so you can see this one is completely empty. This is how much ink this cartridge will hold. There you go. Just finally came out. So that's about 23 milliliters. Okay. Now if you were to weigh an original HP and then weigh this cartridge, this definitely would hold a lot more ink. And then, like I said, this clip, it'll fit them all. Like even if you have the standard cartridge, you put that in there, it just locks right down again. Just put it in the back, line it up with the arrow, lock it in. See? So you can do any of them. You can use the clip for any of them. Take it out, blot it, put it in the orange storage clip. There. Now the ink that's left over, draw it up. If there's a little extra in the tube, draw it out and add it back to the bottle. Okay, that's it. That's how simple it was. These were empty cartridges. I filled them from the very beginning. Now I'll take that system out of that printer and we'll put them in. Our system. Now I'm going to remove the cartridges and put them in, and then we'll run a couple of test prints. And save the orange clip, save everything. I can close the lid. Now this is an old, I'm not old, but it's we don't use that one. We have the newer model, which is the 6978, but this is the 6954. They're all the same, as long as they take the 902 cartridges. We'll be able to close it up. It's going to come on. Checking the printer. Now, sometimes the reports are not original HPs. That would be normal. See, now it's going to go into a maintenance because it knows it's new cartridges. It's going to charge it up. Printer does that every time you get a new set of cartridges. This will take a minute, and then we'll run some test sheets. Reports out. I'll go over to setup, go to tools, move down, print status report. We'll print that first. Now if you don't want to have ink on your fingers, wear rubber gloves. If not, if you get some on there, we have Ink Be Gone, which will take it right off. That's what we use. It's up on our website. Okay, here you go. That's looking good. There's your ink levels. Excellent. Now they're going to drop and they're going to disappear. You're going to get that question mark. But so what? The chip's not going to stop you. You'll be able to keep printing. Now this printer here printed out a total of 5,993 pages when we're doing testing. So let's go to quality report. So any of the HP printers that take the 902 cartridges, this is the ultimate refill kit. Okay, let's take a look now. Perfect. Perfect. Everything's came out perfect. So now, if you want to get a set of refillable cartridges with our COC Smart Chips, go to inkproducts.com. This refill kit will save you hundreds of dollars. And you can fill a cartridge anytime you want. It's actually better to do that than run out. And we also have the Black Tower system. Should you print a lot, you hook up one of those, all you do is pour ink in the bottle.